Joined in with Mo. I love this guy. You've been on the channel once before, always speaking sense. Mo, let's get your thoughts. I thought we were a bit unlucky today.
Definitely. You were definitely very unlucky. If I was a Norwich fan, I'd feel like you deserve more from the game, personally. And, it's obviously tough. I'm an Arsenal fan. It's hard for me to be that objective about it. But we both had something to play for today. And, I've got a soft spot for Norwich because I used to live in Norwich, and I've been to the ground a few times, and I do really like the club, to be honest with you. I think it's like a charming club. Yeah. Delia's run and everything. It's just a brilliant club. But the thing is, with my Arsenal hat on, I'm glad we won today. But that first half was shocking on our part. You were definitely the better team in the first half, and you had opportunities in that half. And Czech kind of dealt with what you threw at him. It wasn't too difficult for him. I just think that was your chance. You must know throughout the whole season that when you get opportunities like that, or when you get that level of momentum and you have that spell in a game, you've got to make it count. You didn't make it count. And then I don't have very high expectations of Arsenal in first halves, because if you look at the stats, we do nothing in first halves generally. But second halves, I always expect us to go on and perform. And we stepped it up a little bit. Still not enough, but a little bit. But the gap in between the two teams today wasn't reflective enough of the actual gap that exists between the two teams. We, with all due respect, we are better than you guys. We've got world-class players, and that didn't come through today. And it's just very frustrating as a Arsenal fan to see us not trying to dominate these teams.
Did you ever think throughout the whole game that Norwich would go on to win it? For us, it's been a story the whole season that we've played okay. We've never really lost by big margins, but the quality just hasn't been there. We haven't got the players you've got, and we get in these situations with chances and just don't seem to take them. Were you ever scared that you were going to lose today?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, because you don't know what it's like to be an Arsenal fan. Swansea came here and they did it. Watford came here in the cup and they did it. Honestly, every single time I come to this place, in my head I think to myself, if someone offered me 1-0, I'd bite their hand off. I don't care who we're playing. I would always take a 1-0 because I've learnt the hard way through relentless, demoralising results here that nothing is given. And I think Arsenal, we come out sometimes and we think we've got this God-given right for 3 points, and we don't actually wrestle the game away from the other team. We just expect it to come. We've got a bit too much reliance on our own talents, or faith in our own talents, and a bit too much arrogance, and for that reason I am nervous. I'm always nervous when I come here. I don't have many enjoyable days here, honestly. I've learnt this season to relish the enjoyable moments in seasons, because I think, as an Arsenal fan, I spend, let's say, 95% of 90 minutes multiplied by 38, in like a stressful mode. There's not a lot of time for me to enjoy myself. At 1-0, you can never enjoy yourself. The only time I feel like I've enjoyed myself at this ground this season is United. Yeah. We came out early. We always looked like we were going to win. We scored early goals, and I actually had a really nice day. It's very rare. So yes, I was worried. I've been conditioned that way.
I mean, before we came into this game, me and most Norwich fans were thinking that you hadn't got much to play for, and then I spoke to Robbie and you were like, you pretty much had to win today to secure that top 4.
Exactly.
Do you think it would have been a different story if you had the top 4 secured before today? Do you think you would have been a bit more relaxed going into it, or do you think the pressure was a downfall for you?
I think it would have been slightly different had we not had that carrot. But I don't know, it's very hard, because given that we did have the carrot and we had to win today, the performance didn't reflect that. The first 45 minutes we just ambled through it. So it's a tough one to answer. We don't really follow logic at this club. We had a lot to play for today. We didn't look like we did. So on another day we could have nothing to play for and we come out and play like world beaters. So it's hard to know how Arsenal are going to come out.
Finally, I want to quickly touch on the whole Wenger out campaign.
No.
To me,
time for change campaign. And this is my big frustration today.
Does that not mean you want Wenger out?
No, not at all. Not at all. Listen, I think Arsenal fans are extremely divided. I think everyone knows that. Yeah. For Norwich fans that don't know, there's 2 acronyms that every Arsenal fan knows: AKB and WOB. Arsenal knows best and Wenger out brigade. You probably know this anyway. Probably every football fan knows this. But the thing is, I think what the fan groups did today very cleverly was created a protest that was broad enough to ensure everyone's able to participate. Because as soon as you make it a tight or a limited kind of protest, and you label it with Kroenke or Wenger or any individual, you do start to alienate people. And this was very broad and let everyone participate in it. So I was absolutely all for it, and I held up a banner, or a sign. I took part in it fully, but I don't want I don't have any agenda against Arsene Wenger. I don't have a vendetta against him. For me, if Arsene Wenger goes, fine. If that's the change that happens, that's fine. If he stays and we change his working environment, that's fine as well. In fact, that's what I'd prefer, because Arsene Wenger has built up a hell of a lot of goodwill with me over the last 19 years. I really like the guy. You know, if I saw him getting run over, I probably would push him out of the way and take the hit for him. You know, I really love the guy. But the thing is, I love Arsenal more than Arsene Wenger, and I always will. My focus is the club, not the man. So whatever the change is, I don't really care. We just need change. And I just said this to you before we started, whether that there's 19 teams in this league that this summer should be saying, all right, what changes are we going to make? And that's because 19 teams didn't win the league. So the way I see it, every single team in the Premiership, and Leicester are really testament to that this year. If you're not winning the league, you should be making changes to try and win the league next year. I don't care how much of a pipe dream it is, because Leicester, you know, that throws everyone's predictions out the window. So of course change is needed at Arsenal. I think all 19 clubs in the Premier League this year should be getting Buddhist monks to visit their ground in the summer, because, you know, Leicester proved that anything can happen. So yeah, it is time for change. I'm fully behind the protest. It's just a shame that more people didn't back it, and I think as Arsenal fans, to be honest, we get what we deserve, because we don't do flipping anything. We can't ever unite behind a cause, and there's more arguments between fans than there is unity to get behind a cause.
Mo, final question, yes or no answer, are Norwich staying up this season?
Oh, I hate to say it. I really do hate to say it, but it doesn't look like it. I say no. And listen, I'd much rather travel to Norwich than I would Sunderland and Newcastle. Couple that with the fact that I do have a soft spot for Norwich. I'd love for you guys to stay up, but unfortunately it's not looking that way.
Right, top man, cool. Thanks very much.
Cheers. Thanks a lot for having me.